If you were to start a quantum computing startup, I guess where along in that process would you be implementing your services?
Yes. So um, in the future, we almost would like to be the go-to for you to get started on providing your own solutions for quantum chemistry or quantum finance. It's like ambitiously, I'd say that would be 5 years down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Maybe, but that's I think where we would play a large role in being a strong distributor of packages and resources for anyone who's interested in quantum to um, essentially kind of like produce their own product.
now when I first started mine, with provisional patent with all this medical stuff,
Right.
it was told to me that since the hardware isn't very good, we have to be very creative with algorithms and the types of things you're doing. Would you agree with that?
Um, I think creative is an interesting term. I'm not exactly sure. I'd say like there's just a lot of research that needs to be done. Definitely where this is where like quantum error correction comes in, and there's been a lot of fantastic um, progress there. And that's also where I think there's a lot of active conversations about how to utilize NISQ. So noisy intermediate scale quantum computers. So these are like the quantum computers you see available now, and kind of like utilizing them for some kind of situation, and also kind of like looking still towards the fault tolerance stuff. So there's a lot of active research there. And um, I guess like coming from your perspective, Kevin, I'm sure you're looking for kind of something tangible and product like. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, like we're just restricted by quantum annealing is the only type of the technology,
Right.
hyper quantum annealing, that's like, fault tolerant, but it's just for optimization problems. Now, it sounds like you guys are onto something. And then it also sounds like you're really waiting for awesome hardware.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of waiting for awesome hardware. With awesome hardware, there are probably solutions that no one has even thought of that are there. It's kind of like the iPhone. Like when it was first out, no one really thought about, oh, you could do FaceTime, or you could do like a whole movie with, like these iPhone 13s, and you could do all these, endless possibilities like filters, apps, all of that. People didn't think about that in the beginning. And I think that's kind of what we're anticipating because, you know, it, there should be potential given the fact that, superpositions are fairly convincing in terms of the amount of computation that they should be able to do compared to their classical analog. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to focus on the positive news. I know there's a lot of
Mhm.
like, articles otherwise, but I'm going to post something, and this is basically Quantinium releases in Quanto.
Cool.
Now, I think a lot of these things just really depend on the hardware as far as like I was writing up a pitch deck, and basically like I had to, explain it at 1,000 qubits for this specific type. It's called this. And then at 100,000, and you talked about NISC, 100,000 fault tolerant. We're in this stage, early stage fault tolerant. So it'll be interesting how it all plans out. Now, a lot of times leading manufacturers have stage gate their technologies, right? They have shareholders. They want to get continuous growth over the years. So it'll be interesting. So Denise Ruffner said there's 16 quantum hardware companies across 9 types of technologies for quantum. And to me, that's like lots to get excited about. So Ron goes to one of these other ones I go to, the Chicago-based one, and you probably have been too, Ricky. And basically they get really specific. And I brought up a question. I was like, why don't we just stick to a technology and figure it out? And they said, no, it's better to, try to, get funding through all these separate things too. And I agree with them now, because if we have a breakthrough and, we were talking about neon technology, that, we should, go that way. But I don't know. What do you think about forecasts? Like, you think they'll come out exactly on a little bit before or after?
Very interesting question. I think IBM released kind of an update